So, I actually thought this game was a little bit newer than the than Space Quest, like the original Space Quest 2, because I'm pretty sure Space Quest 2 was 1989, but apparently this one was 1989 as well. It's quite interesting. Okay, so those are the two guys that appear on like the save and the quit menus. So they're obviously from this game. But I think the whole kind of thing is that they're the two guys from Andromeda, is what they're referred to as. And they're supposed to be like game programmers. So, it has been an indeterminate amount of time since Roger Wilco rocketed away from Vohal's burning space fortress. Time stands still for our hero in suspended animation. Its engines long spent, the small escape pod drifts aimlessly through unfamiliar starfields, its course altered many times by small asteroids and space debris. Inside, Roger lies undisturbed in a sleep chamber, but not for long. It's about to get a rude awakening. So it looks like someone's tracked us down here. Somebody has tracked us down. Some kind of robot man. Maybe they haven't tracked us down. Maybe they've just kind of spotted our ship drifting aimlessly through space. Could be a good thing for us. Could be a bad thing. Sure, we'll find out shortly. The pod, considered to be nothing more than another piece of scrap, is taken aboard a robot-commanded garbage freighter. Unfortunately, these robots have no regard for organics. Well, that doesn't bode too well for us. Small pod is jarred by a sudden shock which triggers the sleep chamber's revive mode. As the glass shroud slides back, Roger slowly begins to regain consciousness. Wake up, Roger. You're in danger. Maybe. Where am I? Shifty eyeballs. Shifty eyeballs. Come on, Roger. We've got work to do. Okay, here we go. Now, I cannot remember a hell of a lot about this game, so you're going to have to bear with me as I kind of figure out what the hell to do. Okay. You notice that the sounds from the pod grow softer until they are imperceptible. Having served its purpose and taxed its resources, the pod gives a final hum and shuts down. Why can I not click? Alright, we can run, we can move around. What have we got? I think you can click. Here we go. This one actually has a mouse cursor, which is like pretty fucking advanced for its time. So we can change the speed here. Change. Oh, okay, we won't do that. Action, pause game inventory, retype. I think is if you type in action, you can push F3 to kind of shortcut to re-putting it in. Save game, restore game, boss key. Oh, the boss key is kind of interesting actually. So you click the boss. Actually, we won't do that just yet. So we'll check out inventory first. We have got our glowing gem still from the last game. Pretty cool. So as I was saying, there is this thing here called the boss key. You might be wondering what that does, but what we're going to do is save first before we click that. So yeah, so what we've got here is a boss key. So if you click this, oh, I get it. You don't want your boss to know you've been playing Space Quest 3. In fact, you don't want your boss to know that you've been playing Space Quest 3 for 0 hours, 4 minutes, and 34 seconds. I assume that's supposed to be a bit more impressive once you click it, once you've been playing a bit longer than I have, but that's a good idea, but I'm afraid that being the good company men that we are, we can't help you cheat like that. Sorry. Oh, okay. That's alright. I know, it must be the Leisure Suit Larry series that there's actually, that has the boss key in it, and what happens when you click it is it will kind of pop up with this like graph looking kind of thing, so it kind of looks like you're actually doing some work, but the thing is once it pops up, you can't actually exit out of it, you have to close the game. So it's kind of like, I guess like karma for playing a game while you're supposed to be working. It's kind of cool, which is what I thought was going to happen then, but it didn't, so our first thing to do here, of course, is what you always do in these games, is just have a look around. We're standing in a debris-cluttered junk bay. An escape pod rests in the middle of the room. There are chunks of metal lying around, which seem to be small sections of old spaceware. Okay. So we can't really look at too much. I do know we need to interact with this, so didn't actually make any like indication that that was there though. Unless we want to go look at spaceware maybe. The 8-pronged plug protrudes only slightly from the motivator's exterior. That is an extremely obscure statement. I'm assuming it's what we're looking at here, so maybe we can look at plug. Okay, it gives us the same dialogue. Alright, well that is something we need to interact with at some point. We'll just remember that's there. See what we've got over this way. Some freaky ass looking robot skeleton in the corner there. You are quite impressed by the size of this junk freighter. The skeletal remains of a stripped down space tanker stage lie half buried in scrap. Well, alright. Usually what happens with these games is you kind of like, you'll go to a screen, as we did then, as we're about to do, and the first thing you always want to do is look around, because it gives you just kind of like a brief idea of what's in the vicinity of you. Someone, or something, has done a real job on this tanker. Was this the result of some space battle, or perhaps you're not the only one roaming around in here? So this one actually seems to be a bit different from what I remember. I know the earlier ones, usually what happens is, if you kind of like use the look around command, it will usually kind of bring more attention to objects you can interact with, but it doesn't really seem to be doing it with this one, so I guess we just have to go by like what we can see. So I know there's some loose wires on the wall here, so we'll have a look at those wires. Except for the one on the left, most of the wires here look dangerously warm. So that kind of indicates we can interact with this, so we can probably take these. Actually, I know we can take these because I remember doing that. You take the only decent piece of wire available. Cool. So that's going to come in handy at some point. So we'll have a look around here again. The gutted carcass of the tanker opens up to reveal even more junk. A metal head rests nearby. So we'll look at the metal head. Wow, an ancient model of a battlebot. I bet you'd hate to run into whatever brought this guy down. It looks like something poked it in the eye, which seems a bit like a clue to me. Look at eye. There are 2 eyes on the battlebot head. One of them has been broken. So I'm pretty sure from memory you can climb up here. Oh, okay, yep. Wasn't expecting it to kind of work like that, but alright. Okay, so we'll have a look around here. You find yourself at the bottom of another trash pit. An interesting array of alien artifacts is strewn from one end to the other. A large ship is in the middle and a small one is off to the side. This one always reminded me of like the Saiyan ships from Dragon Ball Z. For some reason, it's kind of like the same shape. Though I'm sure I think this was definitely before Dragon Ball Z, so I'm pretty sure it's not a reference. It's a cute little thing. You've never seen anything like it in these parts, but then, where are these parts? Some writing on the exterior reads, "For a good time, don't call hell." This is a reference to, is it 2001 A Space Odyssey? Is that the movie that has hell in it? I think it is, but I think I've seen that movie like once, and it was quite a while ago. So I don't think we can get into this one. You're not in a good location for climbing that. Look and ship. Okay, so that gives me the same dialogue. I know we can get into this ship. Definitely can get into this one. Look at ship. It's a sleek looking number if you can disregard the junk it's rooted in. It must be a recent addition to the collection as everything seems to be intact. Etched on the side is the name Aluminum Mallard. On top is a small hatch. It's a subtle little, well, kind of subtle little Star Wars reference there. Aluminum Mallard instead of Millennium Falcon. So I know you can climb up here. What the hell is this? Vapor calc. I'll just save it first, because I don't trust anything in these games. So what was that? Vapor calc. Wait, is it an abacus? Can I actually use this somehow? Doesn't seem like it. Nope. Okay, so we'll climb up the ship. Not in a good location for climbing that. What do you mean? I'm in like the perfect location. You're lying to me, game. Where else am I supposed to climb up? Okay, maybe we can't climb up this. Guess we can't. Alright, well, we can't actually do much of this yet, so we'll come back. It'd be great if only someone had been smart enough to bring... Wait, can I not get out of here now? Really? The walls are made of metal and very strong composite materials commonly used in spacecraft. So you could get back out of here. Oh, okay, you can. But I was stuck for a minute then. Okay, so we'll come back to that. But that ship's obviously going to be pretty handy if it's intact. Probably a good way to get off here. Now, I don't think we can go any further this way, so we're going to have to double back here. See, now this thing here, I think if we try to pick up, what's it called? It was like a plug, right? Can't, it's permanently attached. Okay. Oh, there we go, another Star Wars reference. Let's have a look around here. Various types of abandoned spacecraft litter the floor of this intergalactic junkyard. All this place needs is a junkyard dog. You shiver at the thought. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a junkyard dog would be a bad idea. This ship is another fine but worthless Acme product. It's funny, I was because we were just playing the Space Quest 2 fan remake before, and there's a ton of kind of like pop culture references in it, which I was kind of commenting saying that I didn't really like it because it kind of takes you out of the like universe of the game. But I didn't actually realize this one had so many pop culture references as well. So they're not as kind of like obvious as the ones that we had in the other game, but yeah, I didn't actually realize there was so many. I'm pretty sure we can climb up this thing here. You are overwhelmed by the variety of space trash around each corner. A large bucket conveyor carries shredded ships to a horizontal conveyor high above. Alrighty. I don't think we can go up this way. Nope. There's a large arm here though. Somewhere there's an oversized android missing a limb. Okay, well we'll jump up this little little conveyor. I think what we need to do is just kind of stand in here. I think. Yep. Doesn't look very comfortable there at all. Now here, I believe we need to act quite quickly, or else we will die. I think it's in the next screen. Okay, yeah, so we need to stand up, I think. Grab pole. Rail. Actually, I think it's a rail. Jump to rail. Yes. Okay, good. That's kind of a cool feature they added in this one too, because I think the first two games, the gameplay keeps going when you're typing. So in that situation, you would probably not have enough time to kind of like type what you need to get out of there. But this one, they kind of pause the time, which is quite good. Gives you a bit more time to kind of react to stuff. Okay, so we're definitely not going to be able to navigate around that corner. So we will not go that way. Okay, so what have we got in this room? In this room, the rail makes a U-turn. There is a machine here which hangs under the rail. There is a chute at the bottom. In the middle are panels of monitoring devices being tended to by a droid. Maybe we should check this droid out. Look at the droid. It's not a model you've seen before. The droid appears to be dedicated to this workstation. Seems harmless enough. Okay, so pretty sure this thing, I'll just quickly look at this again. I can't remember what it actually referred to this thing as. Okay, it's just a machine, so pretty sure we can like jump into this thing. The grabber hangs beneath a rail. There is a seat for a driver. There is a claw underneath that looks capable of grabbing things. That makes sense seeing it's a grabber, so I think we can just kind of like get in. Grabber? Yep. Flopping into the seat, you grasp the forward-backward control of the grabber. Yo, very good. So, what we want to do with this, and I can't exactly remember where we need to go with it, but the kind of like plug thing that we had lying on the ground by our original ship, we kind of need to use this grabber to pick it up. I think we just type use grabber. Forget it, think of something else. Okay. Maybe look at controls. From your seat, you see a handle presently being gripped by you, which controls motion, and a button marked claw. So, press claw. Need to kind of work out where we are in relation to that plug thing. Oh, okay, so we're not too far off. We need to move to the right a little bit. We'll see how we go. Then we also need to try and drop it into that other ship too. So, oh, okay, that was perfect. I think it probably just kind of like, probably like slightly corrects it if you're near enough, I would say. Otherwise you'll be here forever. Claw senses contact with the warp motivator, grasps it firmly, and begins the ascent back to the grabber. Okay, so it's a warp motivator, not a plug. That dialogue that we read was a little bit confusing. Well, it was confusing for me anyway. Alright, now we just need to remember where that ship was. So, I think if it's the same amount of screens, it wasn't this screen, because this was the screen with the pipe thing, the wires. So, maybe be this screen here. But I have a feeling it's, we need to move to the foreground. Due to a series of pipelines directly below you, the claw is programmed not to work here. Okay. We probably need to move to the front. Sensing an adequate surface, the claw releases its cargo and begins the ascent to the grabber unit. The object thuds into place within the cavity of the ship. Very good. So now we just need to be able to get inside the ship. Now the only issue I'm thinking of right now is how the hell do we get off this grabber? I don't actually remember how to get down from here. We might have to go back to the room we started in, I think. I mean, yeah, I don't have any issue with the with these kind of style games. They've got their own charm, but they can be a little bit tedious. Just trying to work out what to do. Like I find the point and click ones a little bit more kind of easier to kind of make your way through. Like there's still some tedious areas, but you know, the whole having to type, there's just so many possibilities. What the fuck? You really bit the beam, buckwheat, and there's that lack of regard for organics in action again. I guess they never heard of the warning shot concept around here. Anyway, you're dead. Well, okay, I didn't actually know you could die there. Where did I save last? Conveyor. Oh, Jesus, okay. Alright. Now, I know we need to jump down. I'm pretty sure we need to jump down onto this ledge. But maybe we need to just keep an eye on that robot, I guess. Doesn't seem to be moving though, so maybe I was just talking too much. Jump to ledge. Oh my god. Get off. I think we can just walk into here from memory. Ah, yeah, that's right. So this area, fortunately, you come to a relatively soft landing in a pile of debris. We have the evil rats. Gotta watch out for those evil rats. Now there's definitely something we need to get from this room, but I can't remember what it is. You seem to be in a debris enclosed hollow. Poking out of the ceiling is the chute which you originally entered through. Some crusty lamps linked by non-UL approved wire provide additional illumination. Okay. I think you can interact with the wire from memory. So we already have some wire, so I don't know if we need any more. A brittle looking wire runs from lamp to lamp and then disappears into a hole to the left. Okay, maybe we can go to the hole. Look at hole. Peer into the small opening and notice a tiny reactor which seems to be providing power for the lights. Ah. I think we might need to take the reactor. But I'm pretty sure if you take the reactor, the lights go off and then I think the rats are like... will eat you? Maybe? Seems like a good time to save to me. Let's see if we can take the reactor. You unhook the reactor from the cheap wires and take it with you. Don't think we need to take the wire, pretty sure. Yeah, that won't help you now, okay. Maybe they don't kill you. Maybe I'm just imagining that. Use ladder. I actually think we need to take this ladder. Climb ladder? Okay. Bending aside a thin piece of scrap, you find an opening into another area and climb on in. Cool, now I think you can take the ladder here. You grab the ladder and jab it into your pocket. Oh, I love that. Ouch. Good old adventure games with their, like, endless pocket space. Okay, so we should be pretty good to get out of here now. If I can remember where that ship was. I think it's up this way. I'm trying to remember, I know the first two games, you can miss picking up items and then get stuck later on, but I can't remember if that's possible in this one or not. I can't remember if they kind of like designed it better in this one. Oh, what the fuck? The fuck? seem to have been mugged by some type of large rat. As you pick loose fur from your teeth, you notice a less bulky feeling. Oh shit, we're being robbed. Let's see what they took. You're carrying glowing gem and a ladder. So they took the generator and they took the wires. Does that mean we need to go back and get them? We probably do. Knew those rats were evil. I don't know if we can get back down this way. I think we actually need to go back down where the grabber was. Look around. Blah 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 blah. Maybe we can use the ladder here. Okay, cool. Well, that makes it a bit easier. So they've hooked their bloody their lights back up. Took my wire as well though. How do I get this wire? What? Talking about? Oh, maybe I need to take it from over here, actually. Pesky rats. Wait, did I get wire? Did. Okay. Well, we'll take this reactor again. Hopefully we don't get bloody mugged by a rat. Okay. Climb back into here. And hopefully we can get this ship working and get the hell out of here. So this kind of portion of the game is like the portion I'm the most familiar with. So after this I'm going to be running a little bit blind on what to do. I can kind of vaguely remember portions of it, but not a lot. So I'm pretty sure we have to use the ladder here. Climb ladder. You notice it to be slick up here, be careful. Well, that sounds like a good time to save my game. Okay. Oh, I think this is the hatch here actually. Cute little thing. Okay, so that's not even looking at the right ship. I think this is a hatch. I could be wrong. Looks like the small round passage that it is. Helpful. Hopefully we can just Hopefully we can just open that. You move into position and grabbing the dull finish of the hatch's handle, commence to open and enter the ship. Okay, what do we got down here? Look around. At first you are surprised at how intact the ship's interior is. Immediately to your right is a panel with a red button. At the midship on the right wall is the ship's main diagnostic computer. Directly across are 2 passenger seats. Ahead of you is the cockpit. Okay, so let's have a look at this button. The button is clearly labelled ramp open close. So I don't think we need to use that at the moment because we didn't open the ramp. I'm assuming it's still closed. We'll leave that alone. Have a look at this computer. The access panel has been removed to reveal an empty reactor compartment. Oh, okay, so that's something else. That's not even what I wanted to look at. But I'm assuming that's where we put the reactor. Look at computer. Access denied. Power critically low. Oh, I didn't even get time to read that. Alright. Auxiliary reactor not online. Insufficient power to commence with system checks. Using stored power below 10%. Okay. So probably want to just put reactor in ship. Okay, no, put reactor in console. Don't know how that's a console, but alright. You drop the reactor into the hole. In attempting to reconnect the cables, you find that one is much too short. Well, luckily we have a spare cable. What? Okay. You carefully connect the wire between the ship and the reactor, putting the tile back in place once you've finished. Excellent. Okay, so now maybe we can use the computer. System check in progress. Power level nominal. Auxiliary reactor online. Auxiliary reactor, cool. So that's what we put in with the little crane thing, I think. Nominal. Landing gear. Nominal. Warp motivator. Oh no, that's what we put in actually. The warp motivator in. And that is also nominal. Looks like this bird's in good shape. Cool. Okay, so I guess we can just put sit in cockpit. Look at cockpit. You are sitting in the pilot's seat of the sporty little ship. In front of you is the control panel, which contains a computer screen. Okay, look at screen. Current sector 75, no course selected. Press F6 for cockpit view. So we've got flight mode, vents, engines. So we probably want to start our engines. So number 1, thrust generation underway. I'm just suddenly realizing I probably should have saved the game, but see how we go. Radar. We're definitely gonna. Whoops. We're definitely gonna go radar. Radar is now in operation. Cool. Is it gonna give me any information or nope? Feel like we need to do something first here. I might just pop back here and save. Okay, look at computer. Actually, look at screen. So I'm pretty sure if we take off here, we're probably going to crash. You feel a strong rumbling as the ship strains to loosen itself from the confines of the junk heap accumulated at its base. Finally, it begins to rise. The ship rises several meters, then stops abruptly. An alarm from the computer attracts your attention. Descent halted due to obstruction. Okay, so we can either land or we've got our weapon systems online now, so why don't we just use those? Blast our way out of here. Okay, so what happens if we hit? Front. Oh, that's shields. Okay. Can we fire? Shot blasts a new orifice in the side of the junk freighter. Oh shit. Unfortunately, your inadequately protected ship is struck and subsequently destroyed in the bottleneck of metallic objects striving to pass through the same relatively small opening. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I definitely knew that you could die there pretty easily. I remember dying here a lot when I first tried to get out of here. Okay, so what we need to do here, take off. I think what happens here is if you don't put the radar on first, you keep ascending and then you just hit whatever was in the way because it doesn't detect it. Ship rises several meters then stops abruptly. An alarm from the computer attracts your attention. Descent halted due to obstruction, so we want to go weapons, we want to go front shields on, and then we want to fire. Shot blasts a new orifice in the side of the junk freighter. Pressure generated by the desire of the ship's atmosphere to escape to the considerably lower pressure of space causes your ship to be spit out like a watermelon seed. Cool. So we managed to get out of that fucking freighter thing.